Yo, what's good, y'all? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. In this video, we're gonna be doing day 2 of the challenge. So today's challenge, I'm gonna just get straight into it. We're gonna take a cold shower. However, in the time I'm recording this, I already did the shower because I forgot to record the intro in the morning. But I just wanna keep it brief. You guys already know the drill. Wait, I forgot the drill. I'm a very blunt type of speaker, therefore if I say anything that might sound offensive or harmful, please let me know because that's the last thing I wanna do. But let's get straight into it. Okay, yo, so day 2, we're about to do this fucking thing. I'm already over anticipating it. I know I'm gonna be uncomfortable, but I'm gonna talk about the lessons that I hopefully learned from doing this. But one thing I can already say is that over anticipation doesn't really change the outcome of the scenario for 2 reasons. Number 1, in this scenario, the water's not gonna get any colder and the water's not gonna get any warmer. It's gonna stay there. So if I wait this amount of minutes, or if I wait this amount of seconds, it's gonna be the same outcome. And then reason number 2, speaking of outcomes, about 85% of the time, the outcomes that we play in our head never happen. So I need to stop overthinking, I need to stop over anticipating, and I just need to do it. I'm gonna go ahead and cut to the clip of me getting ready to shower. We're gonna suffer, but it's okay. It's okay, it's only one day, and let's just have fun, you feel me? Let's go. Okay, yo, we got the water running. Just for proof that it's cold, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's a snowflake right there, and then the sun right there. It is on the snowflake. Yeah, so let's go suffer. We're gonna stay in there for at least 5 to 10 minutes. We're gonna try remaining calm, and let's get it. Yo, this shit is fucking cold. Yeah, I'm hyped, guys, in this shit. Real quick, you motherfuckers already know I'm stalling, but I'm gonna try teaching y'all to do some hygiene, cause unfortunately, we live in a day and age where it's 2026, and we still have people saying that they don't wear deodorant in the winter because the cold outweighs the smell of their armpits. I'm gonna show y'all how to hygiene. I'm gonna put y'all onto a little hair routine. I'm gonna try my best to keep calm, but alright, shut the fuck up. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, this. What the fuck? Okay. No. Okay. No, fuck that. I gotta stay in here. I gotta stay in here. Oh! 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 Okay. We gotta remain calm. Gotta control our breathing. Oh! Okay. Oh. Calm. 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 It's not gonna get any colder. We have to adapt to one way or another.
Okay, the shock is gone. You gotta remain calm. Okay, step 1. My toes are curled up to the fucking max, but you wanna get one of these little things. It's very tiny, and this basically allows you to get most of the wax out of your ear right away. Rinse and clean, nothing crazy. And this basically just helps with getting in parts that a Q-tip usually can't get into. And once that's done, the next thing I do, I use a gua sha for my face. I don't really know the benefits to be exact, but I do know that it just helps you with your jawline. It just helps you with keeping your skin intact so that you can avoid getting as much wrinkles in the future. Nothing crazy, just around the cheek, around the jawline area, around your eyebrows, your forehead. Just that simple stuff. And I'm probably doing it way too fast, but I'm not really tripping. So once we're done with the gua sha, I have curly hair. I have, I think, maybe 3A. I'm in the 3 range, either 3A to 3C, one of them. The only thing you really need, if you're not trying to do too much to your hair, but you also want to keep it intact, you want to use a shampoo, a conditioner, and a leave-in conditioner. I personally like to use Camille Rose for my brand. Obviously, not every brand is going to be well for every person. So I would give it a shot. If it doesn't work for you, there's plenty of other brands that will work well with the hair that you have. So first, I usually start with the detangling shampoo. It's called the Guava Slip. I usually start rubbing this around my hair. If you need more, go ahead and use more. I take a little brush and then I just finish off the detangling job. Especially if you have curly hair, this shit hurts. So now that my hair is basically all good with the shampoo, it's detangled, I'm gonna go ahead and rinse out the shampoo and then we're gonna move on to the conditioner. Alright, so it's been about 5 minutes now. I'm pretty numb to the water now. You just have to remain calm and remember that your body will adapt one way or another. It's just an evolutionary thing. So I thank my body for this. I'm still a little bit tense as you guys can see, but I'm definitely much more calm than when I was freaking the fuck out. So now we're moving on to the conditioner. I use the Moroccan pear one. This shit does wonders and it smells really fucking good. So since my hair is already detangled, I don't have to worry about the detangling process. And then I just lather it through my hair, same thing. Okay, all lattered out. So I'm gonna just let it chill like this. I don't really want my hair getting in the way. So now it's time to scrub my body. You can use like a loofah. People do different methods. This is my preferred method. Now you want to get yourself a good body wash, something that smells good and something that goes well with your skin chemistry, because your pH level can really affect the effects of cologne, body odor, how well your body absorbs things like body wash and deodorant, stuff like that. But I'll get into that once I'm out of this fucking iceberg. Of course, you want to make sure that you're getting in areas of your body that are not easily accessible, and you already know what I'm getting at. The back, it can definitely be a little bit hard to get your back. If you do struggle with getting to your back muscles or just like your upper back, lower back, the middle of your back, I would highly invest in a scrubbing brush just so you're able to get into those areas that you can't quite reach with your hands. And then make sure to obviously clean the fuck out of your ears as well. And one thing a lot of people don't do is they don't clean their fucking feet in the shower. Just because the water's wet and you're standing on wet water does not mean that your feet will be clean. Scrub the inside of your toes, scrub the bottom of your feet, unless you want to have athlete's foot in the future. Okay, so obviously now you just want to wash off the soap from your body. And now we're going to proceed to washing my face. So I have a sample right now, but I'm going to buy a bigger bottle of this La Roche-Posay Epiclear and just wash my face. Yes, you want to scrub around areas that are very vulnerable to getting blackheads, pimples, cysts. You want to scrub everywhere across your face. Lots of skin cleansers might not work for lots of people, so you just have to do some searching and find out what really works for you. Now we only have 2 more things. Rinse out the conditioner that's been sitting here, and then we're gonna move on to a leave-in. Same thing, I use the Camille Rose Moisture Milk leave-in conditioner. I love this thing, it smells super fucking good. So you just wanna lather it throughout your hair. Obviously, if you have curly hair, you wanna do like the scrunch method and shit like that, just to make sure your curls stay intact. And that's literally it. That's all I do. I just rinse a little bit around my face and around my traps and neck, just to make sure that whatever contents are in the moisture milk don't get on my skin and causes me to break out. Let me turn off the fucking water now, because I'm done with this shit. Obviously, at first, you saw me fucking suffering for my life. However, we're done. My body did adapt. I definitely do feel cold, and I'm ready to turn on my heater to the max, and I'm just gonna fucking chill in my hoodie. As I mentioned, I do go to a dermatologist, and they have provided me with 2 things that I use for my skin. The first one I use is clindamycin phosphate. This is basically a topical lotion that helps with preventing acne from coming in. And then I use tretinoin cream. I use the 0.1. The tretinoin, in essence, it basically just helps with drying out your skin for oily purposes, I guess. Because obviously, if you know, there's an area of your face called the triangle. I forgot what it's called. But within this area, a lot of oil can produce, and that's what causes acne and blackheads to grow. So tretinoin and then clindamycin, and then I simply mix, and then I put it on my face. Okay, pretty simple. Face is good, face is clear. Now, we're gonna move on to using lotion. We wanna make sure that your body is not only smooth, but you do wanna make sure that it smells good. For my lotion, I use Mahogany Teakwood by Bath & Body. This shit smells really fucking masculine. Obviously, not everyone is gonna like the same fragrance. Not everyone's gonna like the same lotion. So just find something that you like. And then I just lather it around my body. And obviously, you guys know the perks of lotion, so I'm not going to get too deep into that. And then finally, just take your deodorant. I use a spray. I don't really like using gels. I usually take this one by Degree, Ultra Clear. You don't need to do a lot of deodorant. That even might be too much. But that's basically it. Now, I did tell you guys that I want to help you guys with some other body washes besides the method. Like I said, find something that suits you well. But I'll go ahead and show you one other body wash that I think everyone would like. This is a really big fucking bottle, but it's called Rain Bath by Neutrogena with vitamin E. And vitamin E is very good for your skin. This body wash is very gentle. It's one of those neutral smells that I feel like most people would enjoy. I enjoy this one, and I do think that it's one of those bang for your bucks kind of moments. You will reap good results if you do decide to invest in this. And then, well, with my hair, I still have the leave-in in, but with your hair, curly hair does really whatever the fuck it wants to do depending on the day. You could have a good hair day, you could have a bad hair day. All you want to do, just scrunch. You don't want to do too much either. Just scrunching a little bit until it looks decent, and then when it dries, well, the volume will then increase. But now, let's go to what I learned from this challenge. Okay, so now we're back to the present. Right now, it is probably around 6 at night. I learned a good 4 lessons from this challenge, and I wanted to reflect on those lessons with you guys. So, the first one, I did talk about this before I started the challenge, and that has to do with over anticipation. In life, it's normal to feel anxious, especially when you're entering a situation that you've never been through before. However, being overly anticipative of the situation is not really going to do anything good because it is a lose-lose situation at the end of the day. Most of the situations that we do end up over anticipating and freaking out about never really go exactly as how we planned it in our head. So that's one of the reasons why it's a lose-lose. And the other reason that it's a lose-lose is because it's mentally exhausting. Because as I said, you don't know what's going to happen. We're always being pessimistic. Oh, what if it goes bad? We're always being overthinkers. What if it goes terrible? What if this happens? And then it doesn't happen. And then usually it's actually something good that happens. So ultimately, overthinking and being over anticipative before a situation happens doesn't really do you any good. And in this situation with the water wasn't getting any colder. The water wasn't getting any hotter. One way or another, I was going to find myself in there and my body was going to have to force itself to adapt, which is what leads me to my second point. Remaining calm and adaptive in harsh situations. In life, there's going to be a lot of situations that we have to enter into knowing that it's probably the only way that we're going to be able to move forward in life, or knowing that it's the only way that we're going to be able to help one another in life. And those situations, those are usually going to be the harsh ones. And as long as you start panicking within those situations, number one, you're not going to get anywhere. Number two, you're going to make the situation 100 times worse than it originally is. And number three, it will cause a chain reaction most likely. If one person panics, more people are going to panic. So try not to panic, try to remain calm in the situation, and just endure as much as you can. And remember that you have an ability to adapt to any type of situation. And that's what I realized when I was in the midst of that cold water. Eventually, it just got easier and easier. And eventually, the cold water, it actually felt warm for a little bit. Lesson number 3 that I learned is that this caused me to be even more mindful, and it helped me gain a perspective on people who are suffering in terms of materialism in the world. Some people can only shower with cold water. Some people don't even have water, and God bless them too. I hope that one day in life, all of their struggles will be removed. We don't want to see one another suffering. For the people out there on planet Earth who either have to shower with cold water, dirty water, or just no water at all, those people are some of the strongest and bravest people ever, knowing that in order to keep themselves clean in one type of way, they have to go through that. While me, on the other hand, I get to willfully do cold water for a challenge. I could have used hot water. I can go shower again right now and use the hottest, most boiling water ever to the point where it burns my skin. But that's one of the reasons why I did this challenge, because I also wanted to gain mindfulness and perspective from the people who have to do this every single day. And it's no joke. I can only imagine someone who has cold water waking up early at 6 in the morning, having to get ready for work, and they have to do that within the first 5 minutes of waking up. No one wants to go through that. So massive respect to those people who do that. And lesson number 4, to the people that have to do that, there's also people in the military that are forced to do that. David Goggins specifically, I read some of his book called Can't Hurt Me. It's a great book. I would highly recommend reading it. He was actually afraid of water, and there was a time when he was in BUDS training, which is training for the Navy SEALs, I believe, and he had to willingly go into the ice cold water of the Pacific Ocean, and he had to paddle boats in intense waves, intense tides, all of that crazy stuff. And one thing that his instructors made him do is that after they were freezing cold in the water, the instructors would purposefully let them sit in the sun and get all dried up, and then they would have them go back out in the water again just to reset that entire suffering process. And that's some of the most mental toughening, mind callousing thing that someone can go through. And me, myself, I'm pretty lost in life right now, which is one of the reasons I'm doing YouTube, because I realize that I love helping people. But one thing I've also thought about doing besides YouTube is going to the military after I finish my 4 years at college. I don't know exactly what I want to do. Obviously, the ideal path would be to do YouTube and just record myself having fun, but we unfortunately live in a world that revolves around money. So I will have to find a job. And I feel like the military not only will help me get a job, but it will help me gain networking with other people, and it will help me toughen my mind as well. Sometimes I reflect on how privileged I really am compared to other people. I mean, I have a PC, I have a PS5, I have an Xbox, I have a MacBook, I have a lamp, and I have a really comfy bed and a brand new iPhone 17, and here I am struggling. And don't get me wrong, everyone goes through their own struggles no matter what type of class they fit into. But it's that type of thing that makes me want to go to the military, because I feel like I need to be broken down willfully just so I can build myself back up without relying on other people to get me through the day. So there's definitely a lot of benefits that come with the military and just breaking yourself down on purpose. That's part of the reason I did this challenge. And actually, from today's challenge, as I'm talking, I learned a completely new lesson. I mean, if you really think about it, I'm just a 19-year-old kid who took a cold shower. The world's gonna keep moving. No one gives a fuck, you feel me? And that's what I'm getting at though, because it's the tiny moments like that that seem so irrelevant that actually teach you the most. I learned 5 lessons today from just taking a cold shower. And I think that's one of the beauties of life that God brings us, because everything possesses beauty in this life, even the bad things. I just love how you can take something and learn from it, no matter how tiny it is. I mean, think about it. This microphone that I'm talking on, this came from a world that started out with rocks, water, and trees. We took a world that was entirely made out of water, rocks, and trees, and we created everything that we have right now, from buildings to skyscrapers to tiny microplastic chips that are tinier than a grain of rice. That's how crazy this world is. And it's just insane on what the mind can do. Your mind is capable of so much. And that's another reason I'm doing this challenge, to let you know that if I can do hard things, you can do hard things too. Because just like me, you have a mind and you have a brain. So go out there, do some hard things. And I do encourage you guys, if you do want to join the challenge, join it with me. I still got 363 days to go. Tomorrow's challenge is going to be a little different as well. But most importantly, have fun in life. Other than that, I appreciate y'all watching the video. I'll see y'all tomorrow. God bless y'all. Y'all have a good one.